Welcome back to Tell Your Story. My name is Nason,
I'm Corey.
and today we're going to do a little bit of an exercise dissecting into your why you want to get sober. So, I have volunteered Corey to take part in this wonderful new exercise. This is something that you can do at home, and I suggest that even in sobriety, or if you've just started in sobriety, this would be something fun for you to do. We're going to dissect the reason we wanted to get sober, right? So I want to start off and kind of tell you that when you're starting in sobriety, or if you're thinking about getting sober from drugs or alcohol, whatever that may be, you have a reason, right? And in a rehab or in a 12-step program, usually what most people would say is that you get sober for you. You know, like you are looking to get sober for yourself, and that any other reason really just doesn't make any sense. I'm here to tell you that when you start getting sober, or when you want to get rid of your drug addiction, whatever that may be, any reason to get sober is a good reason. Okay? So if you've just begun, if you're on this journey and you have a reason, stick with that reason. But what we want to show you is that that reason will evolve, and it spreads out to affect so many different things. So we're going to start our little exercise, and you can follow us along at home. Do this, write things down, whatever you need to do. What was your first reason for getting sober?
This time it was either I got sober or I was literally going to die. I had been through pancreatic failure, liver just shot from all the alcohol. I had early stages of cirrhosis. My doctor ran all these tests and liver enzymes were out the roof. It was just, I was so unhealthy. I was literally killing myself.
Okay. So literally the physical reason was you were going to die.
Yes. So I had that physical reason. It was either hey, you're going to die, or you can stop drinking and using drugs.
Oh, sure.
And then, there was that mental reasoning was I was so tired of being just miserable.
Just tired of everything.
Yeah, I hated everything. I hated everybody, and mainly myself.
Sure.
And I was just so sick of living that way.
Well, I think I had the same reasoning in a lot of different ways. I was drinking too much, so there was the hangover. So for me, the physical part was just feeling terrible all the time. And then, the mental aspect was that I was just depressed, anxious, lonely, and I really, in the beginning, it was just I wanted those things to go away.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel that anymore. So I hadn't really thought about what sobriety meant to me, or what sobriety looked like, and how many different things it could affect. So now we want to take that reason, and we want to dissect it. We want to go further. So in this second part of the exercise, we're going to look at that same reason, and we're going to go a little bit below and ask why again. So let's give a reason to that. So the reason we talk about this in our why is that when most people get sober, they don't care enough to stay sober, right? Because they don't understand what sobriety truly looks like. So sobriety hasn't become attractive enough to a person to want to stay sober. Or if you're in a recovery group, what they talk about is like a low bottom. So the pain hasn't been vamped up enough for someone to just be like, I am done with this. So now we want to take our reason. So mine again was just, I don't want to be lonely or depressed anymore. And yours was,
I don't want to die.
I don't want to die. Okay, so we want to dissect that. So if you've got a pen and paper, be writing your why. Why did you not want to die?
I just had this moment of clarity of I have two daughters. I have family that loves me, and I had been scaring them for years.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much potential inside of me that I had just squashed. And, if I was dead, I wouldn't have any of those things.
So now we have not just death, I don't want to die, but now we also below that have family. I have children. I want to be there for my children.
Right.
Okay. Why do you want to be there for your children?
because they deserve a mom that's not drowning herself in alcohol every day.
Yeah.
You know, they're brilliant girls, and they deserve a good mom.
Yeah. Okay. So we've now gone beyond death to children to you deserve to be a good mother.
Right.
Well, why do you want to be a good mother?
To give them great things in life, you know, not material things, but
Mm-hmm.
to give them, you know, love and compassion and understanding, and just to be there for them.
Sure. So now we've dissected all the way down to like talking about you becoming a loving person,
Right.
giving back things to people that deserve it. So why do you want to become a different person?
So that I don't, you know, go back to where I was, just wanting to die.
Sure.
You know, because I went from wanting to die, almost dying, to I need to live.
Sure.
That was a huge moment.
So then, yeah, as we dissect and we go further, now we have like certain ideas that we can represent and what we can look forward to achieve, right? So as we go down the line, first in the beginning, we just wanted to get away from all the bad stuff.
Right.
That was the idea, right? Which is a good reason to get sober. But then we want to get, you know, further into our development by saying, okay, now we got away from the things that we didn't want to do because we wanted clarity or because we wanted to be better people.
Right.
And being better people affected our family. And we
Right.
wanted to be a better person so that we had better relationships with family. So we wanted to be a better person so that we could get our finances together so that we could buy great things for our children, right? So what sobriety represents is not just being sober and not injecting yourself with something or drinking a beer. It represents a whole plethora of different things. And if you have listed multiple things underneath your why, just keep asking yourself that question and dissecting. Now you have a more attractive reason for not drinking or not doing drugs anymore. So if I had this example that I told Corey earlier, you know, if somebody asked you, and I'm going to use a monetary value here to sort of make it easy to understand. Most people don't get sober because they don't think that they can, or it's not attractive enough, or there's just no reason to. Well, here's a good representation. If I asked you tomorrow, you know, hey, do you think in the next 6 months you could get together $10,000? Is that achievable?
No.
Okay, all right. So in the beginning, it's just like, no, that's not going to happen. But if I told you that, you know, let's say you had a son and he is diagnosed with a disease that's going to kill him in 6 months, but you had this magical injection that would save him in the same time frame, but it costs you $10,000, would you be able to save that $10,000?
You do everything you could to do that.
You would do anything and everything you could to try to save that son, right? If that's the kind of person you are. And so what we mean with our why is that we don't just say we want to get sober because we don't want to do drugs anymore. We don't want to do drugs because it would lead us to better relationships with our family. Why would we want relationships with our family? So that we have people that we can be around and not be lonely anymore. I don't want to feel lonely because that loneliness makes me unhappy. And when I'm unhappy, I'm not who I want to be. And, you know, so you dissect those reasons and you go further and further. Now you have a whole map lined up of different reasons to get sober. And that will give you a bigger purpose in your line of sight when trying to get sober. So today I'm going to leave you with 2 words. And the first word is why. Why do I want to get sober, and what do I care about? Because you need to care about something in order to have a great reason to get sober. And then how can I feasibly achieve these smaller goals to be sober for the long term? Why and how? And if you can dissect those 2 and really map out a whole tree of reasons to get sober, I think you're going to find that it's more attractive, and it will just, the light bulb will go off and you will be closer to that self-actualized purpose for being sober in the first place. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. I hope you guys are enjoying this video and maybe take part in this exercise at home. And then, give us your why. Why did you want to get sober in the first place? And maybe why now? Why now are you sober or trying to develop your sobriety? Leave us a comment and let's make it a conversation. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.